And now the B Plus Wrestling Podcast. Watch global, support local. It's the B Plus Wrestling Podcast.
The move.
You might not be an A, but you are a B plus.
Check it out! Here we go! You wanna mess with us? 'Cause we're steady on the ground.
All right, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, welcome to another B Plus podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time for the King of Sportscast. Today we sit down to talk about everything in the King of Sports universe, which for us is Ring of Honor, CMLL, New Japan Pro Wrestling, of course, and Rev Pro over in the UK. This week it's a big one for Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't know that we're going to get to much of the others, but joining me, of course, as he always does on this journey, Big Boy Mikey. How are you, brother?
Good, buddy. Is this the first time we've been together in quite some time on King of Sports?
We did King of Sports last week, brother. What are you talking about?
Did we?
Yeah, we did. You're just thinking because I wasn't available for NXT because I got my tooth
That's
pulled.
right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was talking like 50 Cent.
I feel like I'm just really missing you on these casts recently. It's just,
Aw.
yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, no, I'm
Because I hate fucking talking to myself to start with. And
Solo casts can be weird at times. They
Yeah.
can. But, you know, at the same time, it gets the information out there nice and quick. We go on tangents. But I feel like that's what people tune in for, is the weird tangents.
and we have weird banter, so I don't know. I just like my Greg banter.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
Fair enough. Well,
I'm so excited for this cast. So, is this nearly a 1 year anniversary of King of Sports? We touched on Best of Super Juniors, I feel, on our first ever cast. Or was it the review?
I don't know. No, our first ever cast was Dominion.
Oh, okay. Maybe was Best of Super Juniors after Dominion last year?
No, maybe we did betas about Best of the Super Juniors.
Yes, we did.
I don't recall. I'm not 100% sure.
I remember
I know
talking
that our
to you.
official podcast launch was in June, though.
Okay.
I think last.
So I
year.
remember talking to you on cast about Best of Super Juniors. I remember talking about how good like El Desperado was, and I just can't remember if we did it as beta or real, but yeah, this is my favorite.
Because last year's Best of the Super Juniors was one of the best lineups. Like, and this year's is stepping it up another level. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Let's start with some of the less impressive stuff. Ring of Honor. And I don't mean that. That sounds awful. I feel awful saying that. I love Ring of Honor, but we'll sort of speed through Ring of Honor to get to the New Japan stuff because I know that's what we really want to talk about. Ring of Honor TV this week: Eli Isom versus PJ Black. Really good match for Eli Isom there. I'm a big fan of Eli Isom. You know, rookie kid. He's pretty good.
Fantastic. Fuck yeah, he's awesome.
He fucked up a springboard really badly in this match. So, like, he went for like a springboard. I don't know what he was going for. Maybe a springboard 450 or something. But he went for a springboard and, like, his feet slipped.
Ooh.
And, like, he hit his shins on the ropes and then sort of managed to flip bump out of it. But, and PJ Black and the ref both, like, dived over to check on him. It was pretty bad. And then Black kind of showed him how it was done by hitting a springboard 450 on him. And then won the match with the moonsault double stomp. So I'm pretty sure it was a shoot. Like, he actually fucked up the move. But they recovered from it pretty well and sort of PJ Black incorporated it into the match, which is
I just want
nice.
to make a quick note on PJ Black. He is better now than he ever was. This PJ Black character is amazing. I finally got to watch him live for the first time in all my life, like all through the years of WWE.
Daddy Darewolf.
At BCW last weekend. He was fantastic. He is so impressive. Such a professional.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, he's rocking the Silver Wolf look now with that Darewolf gimmick. He's gone full daddy. He just embraced it. Yeah, it's great. But I agree. I think he's doing the best work of his career and not slowing down at all, which is great. Moving on, though, we get some War of the Worlds hype, which we'll talk about War of the Worlds in a minute. That's coming up this week. Then we get Ray Lynn versus Kelly Klein. This is a rematch from a squash match that they had a while ago. Ray Lynn gets on the mic before the match, which is funny. Rhett Titus is on guest commentary for this whole show, and Rhett Titus is just like, she gets mic time? And it was just one of the most hilarious things. He's like, she's got what's going on here? Why does she get mic time? But she gets on the mic and she cuts a promo telling Kelly Klein that she doesn't like her and she's #NotMyChamp. And she refuses to shake Kelly Klein's hand. Kelly Klein wins in short order with the K-Power. Well, I say short order, but they did have a commercial break in the middle of this match. It was a regular length TV match, and Raylin got some good offense in to begin with. Then they came back from the break. Raylin was still in control, and then we got Kelly Klein taking over, hitting the K-Power and winning. And then she's like, "Oh, now you'll respect me." And Raylin shakes her hand. And I was just like, "Well, that's a bit weak." So then Kelly Klein gets on the mic and she's talking about, Ring of Honor is about wrestling and she's going to be a fighting champ and all this sort of stuff. And then Allure, of course, that new faction with the beautiful people and Mandy. I got to say Mandy Rose, Mandy Leon, not Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose is in WWE. She would be better this gimmick than Mandy Leon. Mandy Leon and the Allure girls, they distract her and jump her from behind, and then Jenny Rose comes out for the save, but she fails and they cop the lipstick to the forehead with the A for Allure, and it's kind of lame. Then Dalton Castle says he owes some people some explanations, so he comes out and he especially owes some explanations to the boys. This was the highlight of the night. He calls out the boys come out to the ring. They're really hesitant, but he keeps saying, like, no, I want to make things right. Like, what happened at Madison Square Garden was a mistake. I was frustrated. I took it out on you. I shouldn't have. And he asks if they can do what they always do and shoot past this, just move forward. And they sort of hesitate for a minute, but they give him a big hug. And they pose for him, and then he stands there and he's saying to the crowd, he's like, what you see here, this is stronger than ever. You will never see me put my hands on my boys again, because these two are no boys of mine. He turns around, boom, clothesline, attack, bang around, beats the shit out of the boys again. And the crowd just ate it up, just booing Dalton Castle relentlessly. I love this.
The Dalton's gone super heel now. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's good because, especially with his body as broken as it is, working heel is smarter because he gets to work smart, not hard. You want to get a babyface pop in Ring of Honor, you need to, PCO it, or you need to PJ Black.
Yeah.
So it's good. Working heel in Ring of Honor for him is a good idea. And then we got the main event, which was Kingdom versus Haskins and Hot Sauce. Obviously we expect a good match out of these guys. Haskins gets the win with the sharpshooter. He put the most torque I've ever seen on a sharpshooter. Like, it looked like he was breaking TK Orion in two. Like, he bent him way back, like his feet almost touched his head. It was insane. And he taps out, obviously, and they get the win. And they call out Bully Ray, because you remember that Bully Ray put Tennille Dashwood through a table, right? So Lifeblood have a problem with Bully Ray, and so they call out Bully Ray, and he comes out and he's like, "Nah, I'm not fighting you," and he walks away, and that's the end of Ring of Honor TV this week. So it ended kind of with a whimper, but it was a pretty good episode of TV.
Wow. I'm so impressed with Haskins. I always have been. Like, I love all this stuff when he used to do PWG all the time and Progress, but he's fantastic. And Tracy Williams, I used to watch a lot of his stuff through Evolve and that. I'm pretty sure he was part of Catchpoint with TJ Perkins and Drew Gulak and that. I love those two guys. They're the right guys. I think we talked about it when they first got signed. They're the right guys for Ring of Honor to build around because they are proper, or let's say American, one's British, but proper, there's proper talents. There's not much that you need to do with them. They're just great wrestlers. They'll make their own character in time. And I reckon they're just fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. And so, like I said in there, we've got the War of the Worlds coming up. So that's on for us here in Australia, Thursday the 9th of May, Friday the 10th of May, Sunday the 12th of May, and Monday the 13th of May. Those are the days for War of the Worlds for us here. And we've got some good matches in there. It's, they call it War of the Worlds, but there's not a lot of New Japan influence. I mean, you got Evil and Sonata, but they do a lot of work with Ring of Honor. You got Guerrillas of Destiny are probably the most New Japan thing happening on this tour, and Yuji Nagata and Satoshi Kojima are also here.
A little bit. Okay, so I'm just looking at the cards. And look, we should note that War of the Worlds and what's the other names of some of the tours that they've done in the past, like the one upcoming in On the Rising. That's the reason why we have to sort of call it the King of Sports universe, because there's just such a intertwine between all these guys. But these cards look good. But probably not as stacked as
Yeah.
in the past, but I guess, it's kind of still takes some time to get used to not seeing like the Bucks and all that on cards like that. So sometimes you see some of these
But not just that, like some of the past mashup cards have had like a Carter, and Naito is quite irregular, but no Naito.
Maybe it's still just issues with the visa stuff. Maybe it's hard.
Maybe. But hey, we get Hikuleo, so I'll run down the cards. So on Thursday for us, we get Guerrillas of Destiny versus Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham. They set this match up a while ago with, I can't remember who got a pin on who, but yeah, Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham did earn this match quite a while ago for the tag team titles, so they're going for the Ring of Honor. I don't know if it's for both titles. I've seen it advertised both ways, as for the Ring of Honor tag team titles, and I've seen it advertised as for the Ring of Honor and IWGP tag team titles. Why it would be for both, I don't know, but either way, I think if it's just for the Ring of Honor titles, I think Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham actually have a pretty good shot at winning.
Because all it takes is Tama and Tank, because they don't care about these tag titles. They don't treat them with the same respect as the New Japan ones. So, they might just half-ass it on purpose in kayfabe terms, and that'd be interesting.
And then we get Villain Enterprises versus Yuji Nagata, Satoshi Kojima, and Jeff Cobb. Pretty interesting lineup there. Flip Gordon versus Bandito, always a fun match. Roosh versus Silas Young. Tracy Williams and Mark Haskins versus Evil and Sonata. That'll be a banger. TK Orion and Vinny Marseglia, the Kingdom, taking on Carl Fredericks and Clark Connors. Those are two of the New Japan Dojo, LA Dojo Young Lions. And then we've got Hikuleo and Shane Taylor, and PJ Black versus Alex Coughlin, another one of those Young Lions. On the Friday show, we have Matt Taven defending the Ring of Honor Championship against PCO. This was set up when PCO got a pinfall win over Matt Taven in a 6-man tag. So PCO earned a shot there. Of course, Flip Gordon's supposed to have a shot first from winning the Sea of Honor tournament. There's a few people that have shots at the title. I'm not sure what's going on here, why PCO gets first pick, but it's probably just because he's not going to win. So...
yeah. No. So is this Taven's first defense?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So obviously, not a squash for him, but it can be a.
Yeah, he'll get to throw PCO around. PCO will jump off something and die.
Do his PCO stuff.
Yeah, do the PCO. That should be a thing. Do the PCO. Whenever Shane McMahon jumps off something, we'll be like, he did a PCO.
Yeah.
Yeah. Briscoes take on Mark Haskins and Tracy Williams. Yuji Nagata takes on Silas Young. That'll be that's a sleeper match there. Yuji Nagata versus Silas Young. Holy crap.
Wow.
Jay Lethal versus Satoshi Kojima, another one. Jeff Cobb versus Brody King versus Hiroki Goto versus Shane Taylor. That's going to be fun. I'm not sure if that's for the TV title, but it might be.
Yeah, cage match. I've got the cards up here. Cage match has it as a non-title, but that could change.
Yeah, well, it could be it's quite possibly a proving ground match where if one of them get the win, then they can cash in straight away. PJ Black versus Roosh, which will be another good match. Alex Coughlin and Carl Fredericks and Clark Connors, so all the young boys taking on Guerrillas of Destiny and Hikuleo for Bullet Club. And then Vinny Marseglia and TK Orion taking on Evil and Sonata. Kingdom versus LIJ, good match there. On Sunday, we have the headlining match of the TV champion Jeff Cobb teaming with Jay Lethal and Yuji Nagata and Hiroki Goto and Satoshi Kojima, taking on Bully Ray and Shane Taylor and the Briscoes and Silas Young in a big 10-man match. We called them the Plague, I think, taking on the New Japan faction there, kind of. New Japan and Jay Lethal, I guess. We also have the Kingdom taking on the Bullet Club, Guerrillas of Destiny and Hikuleo. Roosh versus Tracy Williams versus Eli Ison versus PJ Black. Winner earns a Ring of Honor title match. There's a lot of Ring of Honor title matches being given out. Who do you think wins that one?
The 4-way there?
Yeah.
Oh, it has to be Roosh.
It's got to be Roosh, right? They've got to set up Roosh versus Taven. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'll go with that for sure.
Yeah. PCO and Mark Haskins go one-on-one. Women of Honor Championship is on the line when Kelly Klein takes on Stacey Shadows. Who's Stacey Shadows? No one knows. Evil and Sonata take on the Bouncers. Cheeseburger takes on Young Lion Clark Connors, and Coast to Coast take on Alex Coughlin and Carl Fredericks. Oh, how ye have fallen, Coast to Coast. Then on Monday, we have the ROH TV Championship between Jeff Cobb, Roosh, Jay Lethal, and PCO. A 4-way match there. Got to think that Jeff Cobb retains.
Yeah.
We have...
Sorry, I just wanted to stop you in your tracks there. This Stacey Shadows.
Yeah.
I just quickly touch on her profile. Who the fuck is she?
I have no idea. Who is Stacey Shadows? That's what I mean.
I'm
Who is
looking at her
Stacey
career.
Shadows?
She's
No
had
one
a
knows.
max of 2 matches in Shimmer in her career. She's been going since 2009. She's only ever been known as Stacey Shadows, and look, I know a lot of wrestlers, and I've never heard the name. She's had, I don't know, nearly over 150 matches in her career. Mostly Insane Championship Wrestling, not Brew City Wrestling. So I'm guessing she's one of is Brew City Silas's young ones from Milwaukee?
No, he's MKE.
Okay. She's done wrestling in the USA, Midwest Independent MIAW. She's done a bit of NWA back in the day. Yeah, I've never heard of this chick in my life, but she's done Ring of Honor 6 times before. She's had a couple of Ring of Honor matches. Yeah, wow. And Wisconsin Pro Wrestling. So clearly a Milwaukee girl.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have no idea. I have no idea who she is. But like I said, on the Monday show, we have Jeff Cobb, Roosh, Jay Lethal, PCO for the Ring of Honor TV Championship. We think Jeff Cobb will win that one. The tag team titles again with Gorillas of Destiny and the Briscoes. We have NWA National Championship match. Colt Cabana defending against James Storm.
Yeah, which is
very interesting match.
So that stems from the NWA Crockett Cup at the end there, with James Storm was straight out to challenge Aldis there. That's fantastic, and I reckon probably one of the most. I mean, Marty Scott's a credible opponent. I don't think Storm will take it off him, but Storm's a credible opponent for the NWA title, and he'd be a good NWA champion. I like James Storm.
Yeah. I mean, he could challenge for the NWA World title, but this is for the national title. It's definitely a contender for that. It's a good one. I feel like Colt Cabana may be dropping it. Colt Cabana may have just been a rush decision, a quick. We had to get it off Willie Mack because he was signing the contract with Impact. But James Storm is the guy we wanted on.
Yeah, well, yeah, and also because of the cease and desist stuff from Lucha Underground that's been happening. So it's something like that. But I kept saying Nick Aldis before. I'm sorry, I got to fix myself there. Colt Cabana, yeah. So, I feel Colt Cabana, he needs one title defense for the NWA title, but I can see Storm as a national champion. He's
definitely.
He's a great talent.
He's the kind of guy NWA like. So he's a journeyman.
Yeah.
He's a journeyman for sure. So Evil and Sonata versus Satoshi Kojima and Yuji Nagata, and the NWA Women's Championship is on the line between. I've got it here as Sienna and Marty Bell. Is Sienna Allison Kay?
Yeah.
Just by another name.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Allison Kay. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's Allison Kay for NWA. So Allison Kay versus Marty Bell. It's just interesting that they'll defend the NWA. Like now with NWA and Ring of Honor working together, there's 2 women's title in this 2 women's championships in this company, and there's less than a handful of women to compete. So it's kind of.
And hey, look, it's another company to add to our Tuesday night repertoire. So anytime NWA stuff is, I guess at the moment their closest partnerships are now Ring of Honor, and I guess, New Japan stuff might start appearing on Ring of Honor. I mean, they sent a team to Crockett Cup. CMLL did too. So I'm guessing NWA is part of the King of Sports universe, which I much prefer.
Yeah, at least tangentially, at least for a little bit.
I will pop. I really wanted this to happen last year. I really thought there was a chance it was. This year, I guess. But I really hope at Tokyo Dome, especially being 2 nights next year, I'd love to see an NWA title match inside Tokyo Dome. I think that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I remember you talking about this last for Tokyo Dome this year. You wanted it to happen with Cody, right? When he was the NWA champ. Yeah.
But so it's more than likely to happen. I mean, I guess I didn't see an NWA title match happening in at all. Like the thought that the NWA title's back in play and such a prominent title again. It's awesome to see. As a
it's amazing.
Old school mark like me, I just love seeing it. So
It really is. NWA are doing Billy Corgan. Who would have thought Billy Corgan returning NWA to a semblance of former glory? At least it's never going to be what it was.
No.
But they're doing a real good job with what it can be.
Yeah. Who would have thought 15, 20 years ago listening to Smashing Pumpkins in the mid-90s would lead to that guy, that lead singer, leading the recharge of NWA. Like, how crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Now, let's while we're talking about relationships, let's talk about some people who have some stupid ideas on the internet. All Elite Wrestling, newsflash, people. All Elite Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling do not have a relationship. Okay? Because obviously we're going to talk about it. Chris Jericho has made his return to New Japan Pro Wrestling to challenge Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight title, right? Spoiler alert. That happened.
It did. It's going to spawn off when I run through the results of Dontaku and things that happened over that last span of that last week, I guess, with both the promo involving the the black jacket and the British logo, who that's going to be. El Phantasmo debuting as Mr. X. And now Jericho challenging Okada with that promo, the little video thing. This relationship is weird because everyone thought that the relationship was not going to happen. There's not going to be no relationship between AEW and New Japan because New Japan just didn't trust it yet, which is fair enough. And there'd be some saltiness from... I don't think they're salty because the way that Kenny and Chris sounds like they've worked with New Japan since leaving or since starting AEW, sounds like they were professional about it. And from the sound of it, which is, could just be dirt sheet stuff, but from the sound of it, Young Bucks and Cody and I guess Hangman didn't leave on the best terms.
No, see, here's the thing. From everything I've seen and heard around, New Japan Pro Wrestling want to work with All Elite Wrestling. They want those top guys, right? They want to have the Young Bucks in their tag division from time to time. Yeah. They definitely want Chris Jericho. They definitely want Kenny Omega. And that is mutual. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho want to work with New Japan. Yeah. Because of things with Ring of Honor, they have a deal on paper that's signed. Because of things with Ring of Honor, because of things with CMLL, because obviously we know now All Elite Wrestling are working with AAA. AAA and CMLL are like blood enemies. It's like cartel shit.
Oh, wow. Especially at the moment with AAA smashing CMLL in the ratings the last couple of weeks. And Young Bucks, as much as I love them, Young Bucks took a little bit of claim out of that. They're like, oh, we brought in 5.4 million viewers to AAA. It's like, well, they weren't even advertised. Cody was, and maybe there was the idea that they would be on it, but for the pop that they didn't get, I don't think anyone really gave a shit inside the crowd.
It doesn't air live, right? It's taped, isn't it?
It was live, but then they've replayed it on their national TV. Since then, I guess, like how New Japan, they used to show like 1 or 2 matches per week on Access or whatever. They do that in AAA as well. But so Young Bucks are attributing a part of AAA's ratings killing CMLL. So, like you said, there's just this weird fucking relationship at the moment. This weird vibe. Like Ring of Honor are certainly not going to work with AEW.
Yeah. But I've seen a lot of... Well, actually, the Ring of Honor CEO guy, he came out and was like, there's no ill will whatsoever. Like, it was all amicable. Yeah. But then, at the same time, they've allegedly fired some people who were worked the All In. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. But what I do know is New Japan Pro Wrestling, just because Jericho has shown up in NJPW, does not mean that they have a relationship now. There is still no relationship. We knew from when he signed his contract, both he and Kenny Omega have said explicitly in interviews, my contract has an exception. I can't work anywhere else. I'm exclusive to AEW except for New Japan because I want to be able to work New Japan. And All Elite Wrestling respects its wrestlers as independent contractors. And if they're like, I still want to work, New Japan, like MJF is still working MLW, right? Like, they very much treat their guys more like independent contractors and less like employees like WWE do, which is a whole other discussion. But yeah, just because Jericho showed up, and I repeat this, there is no relationship. It's just that Jericho wants to work New Japan, and All Elite Wrestling are like, okay, that's all there is. There's nothing else to it.
That's right.
So the internet can calm down.
And in the space of 2 weeks, Chris Jericho is going to wrestle what seems like the main event at Double or Nothing, and then work what seems like the main event at Dominion in the space of 2 weeks. So,
will it be the main event? I feel like Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers should be the main event.
I prefer that to be the main event, yes, but I think Jericho and Omega has a little bit more name value for the main event, in my opinion, but it depends on what they feel. Hopefully AEW go random and put bloody Cody versus Dustin in the main. That's worthy of a main event. So, but
yeah, no, I think that's a mid-card match. But we're talking AEW now. We don't want to talk AEW.
We need to create a AEW universe cast one day, mate. When the TV show starts in October, touch wood, we'll have to launch there.
Yeah, I don't know how many more podcasts I can handle, brother. but we'll get there. We'll get there. It's going to have to happen, obviously. But let's talk New Japan.
Dontaku. Oh, what a fantastic weekend. Yeah, Dontaku is one of those cards, those double-nighter cards or triple-nighter cards like the New Beginning or Destruction in usually around September, where it's a 1 night, 2 night, 3 night thing. I like that style. I think sometimes you can put too much on one night and it can distract from everything else. Let's say, for example, like a WrestleMania having 15 matches on one night. If you split that into 2 nights, you'd probably be able to focus on 3 or 4 matches per night being the main event. And that's why I like these split cards. And I feel that that's why they've decided to do that with Wrestle Kingdom next year in Tokyo Dome, to do it 2 nights, because you want to highlight certain matches, and then the undercard can be set up some stories. So yeah, I like the way that they do these 2 night cards, and these 2 cards over the weekend were just amazing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just going to call it over the weekend. So let's start with.
Look, I think it's good. I kind of like the split card because like you said, having being able to put the shine on different main events. But at the same time, then you get the undercard stuff where we're seeing the same Chaos versus LIJ multi-man tags a million times forever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And a lot of people like that. It's like literally on the road to Chaos faced LIJ like 10 times as a 10-man tag.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But
it's overexposure. It comes from an era where they didn't have a streaming service, and it made sense because they're just running the towns. It's like a house show,
and it's a way to also keep talent not going overboard. They don't need to have the match of the night every night, which is you see some of the house shows for like WWE, and it's like single matches all the time, and it's like you would have to put 10 minutes to do a singles match. Where you do like, I don't know, like I get some of the undercard stuff that New Japan do. Some of it makes sense. Some of it's just repetitive. But yeah. Well, let's quickly run through the results. So for night 1 on the 3rd of May, so Friday night, opened up with a 6-man tag with Ren Narita, Shota Umino, and Tomoaki Honma defeating Toa Hanare, Yota Tsuji, and Yuya Uemura. That match was all about Yota Tsuji, which I loved. He was fantastic. They ended up losing, but Yoda and Yuya tagging together like that, they look good. So next we got the Suzuki-Gun 8-man tag. So Suzuki-Gun was represented by Minoru Suzuki, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, El Desperado, Taka Michinoku, as they defeated the team of Ryusuke Taguchi, Tiger Mask, Jushin Thunder Liga, and Yoshihashi.
Oh, I've been called to call you. I've been told I have to call you up on that, Mikey. It's Jushin Thunder Liga.
Sorry, I go in and out of saying Liga or Liga a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Our Patreon patron, Ben, which, by the way, people, you can sign up to us on Patreon. It's nice and cheap. And if it helps you, you can imagine we are podcasting in the nude. Anyway, our Patreon patron, Ben, has told me that it's like nails on a chalkboard to him, hearing either of us say Liga, which I know it's Liga, but I hear you say Liga a lot, so sometimes I just slip into it. And so we've got to say Liga. Remember, it's like Tiger Mask, Liga Mask. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for picking that up on me. For me, Ben. All right, so yeah, third match in, Will Ospreay, Toriano, Toga Makabe defeated the team of Hikuleo, Tama Tonga, and Tangaloa. Will Ospreay picked up the victory there. Kota Ibushi, Sho and Yo defeated the team of Shigo Takagi, Bushi, and Tetsuya Naito. Kota Ibushi getting a pinfall there. Mikey Nichols, Juice Robinson, and Hiroki Goto defeated the team of Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, and Jay White.
By the way, just quickly, we talked about Mikey Nichols a bit last week, I think it was, when we were talking about, he's getting some relatively high-profile singles and what have you, and how his New Japan work hasn't necessarily impressed us since his return. We talked about, I think we talked about him maybe being more of a tag wrestler, just waiting for his partner.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we did.
I've been catching up on my Aussie Graps this week, and his match with Bobby Marshall over in EPW was the best Mikey Nichols singles match I've seen since return. That's at EPW Gold Rush. So if anyone wants to see a good Mikey Nichols singles match, head over there.
No, it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. Like we said last week and a couple of weeks ago with Mikey, I just feel like he's just slowly getting back into that Japanese scene. He worked it a lot with Noah, so I'm sure it won't be long for him to get really comfortable. But he's been there for what, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Let's give him a year till. His uncomfortability level at the moment is already better than half the roster. Imagine when he gets fully comfortable, fully into the New Japan vibe. He'll be fine there.
Yeah.
Straight after that, we got a special tag match. Evil and Sonata taking on Ishii and Okada. That was a fantastic match. Highly recommend going and watch that. Seventh match of the night was a Never Openweight Championship match between Jeff Cobb and Taichi. This was Jeff Cobb's first defense. Taichi won this, hitting the Black Mephisto on Jeff Cobb. I'm not too sure if this is Taichi's first title reign completely. I think he's had a tag or junior tag title before. But yeah, Taichi is a Never Openweight title, as Never Openweight champion. I didn't see this coming as Jeff Cobb's first loss, straight away with the defense, but it is what it is. I guess he's got a Ring of Honor TV title to take care of in Ring of Honor. That's what makes me think that you're right about Jay Lethal and Gresham taking the titles off. Is it Jay Lethal and Gresham that you said was going to be taking on Tama and Tanga at War of the Worlds?
Yeah, they're taking them on at War of the Worlds. Yeah,
I could see them taking it, because if Cobb's going to drop his on the first defense and just go back to being a single champion, I can see them doing that.
Yeah, I see where you're going. Which kind of shits all over the Madison Square Garden show. It meant nothing. It meant nothing. And just to your note there, Taichi is a 2-time Never Openweight champion. So he held this title for a couple of months last year.
That's right. Yes, when Will Ospreay was injured.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So and I don't remember how many defenses he had then. Not many. But yeah, it's the Never Openweight's sort of a weird title anyway. It just sort of gets passed around, but I definitely thought Jeff Cobb would hold it for a little bit longer than this.
Yeah, I agree.
It's starting to feel like they didn't really care about that Madison Square Garden show.
No, really. Not really. I think New Japan are kind of dirty off it in a weird way. I think New Japan kind of feel just like, we did all the hard work, and I don't know. But it is what it is. So, yeah, Taichi's champion. He does have his first title defense announced. He will be facing Ishii at Dominion.
You got to think he'll defend the title at some point between now and then anyway, because what's the date on Dominion? That's still a while away.
9th of May? Oh, no, even a little bit later. 16. It's 2 weeks after Double or Nothing. So
I was going to say 9th of May is now, buddy. I think you mean 9th of June.
Sorry, 9th of June. My apologies. It's 11 o'clock. I'm tired. And in the final match of night one was Dragon Lee versus Taiji Ishimori, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match.
Banger.
Taiji, banger
of a match.
I can never pronounce Dragon Lee's finisher properly. Desnakadora. Anyway, this was a banger. I can't wait to see these guys are in the same bracket for Best of Super Juniors, which we'll touch on soon.
Yes, we will.
Fantastic match. Nearly went half an hour. I just loved it.
Yeah.
So a successful first defense for Mr. Dragon Lee.
Successful first defense for Dragon Lee, which shits all over what we said about the Madison Square Garden show not mattering. No. But
exactly.
no, but Dragon Lee, man, I think when I look at the brackets for Best of the Super Juniors, you know what? We're gonna get there. Never mind. We'll get there. Let's finish off Dontaku. Yeah. But this match is one that I have watched. I'm on highlights at the moment because I know that Best of the Super Juniors is going to be a matter of I need to watch every single show. So I'm on highlights for New Japan at the moment while I try to catch up on other things. But this match was one that I watched, and God, these two have insane chemistry. And Taiji Ishimori, low key, Taiji Ishimori is like one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Oh, absolutely. He has been for many years, but I'm glad he's got this platform. Look, I love Noah. I love Pro Wrestling Noah for sure, 100%. Great promotion. But Taiji Ishimori needed this. I mean, am I calling New Japan a bloody casual audience? To the casual audience, I think more people need to. I mean, yes, he was on Impact for a bit. But yeah, I think the world seeing him at this New Japan level is.
I think that it's safe to say that New Japan has a more of a casual audience watching it than Impact.
Than Noah, obviously.
No, than Impact do. But obviously Noah as well. But no, I definitely think
he's just that good.
It comes like Shingo Takagi as well, one of the best in the world. But transitioning to New Japan, I don't know. He hasn't really had the opportunity to show it because he hasn't been in as many singles yet. But Taiji Ishimori has just shone from the get-go.
Oh, absolutely. But he's a freak. He's such a talent.
Yeah, those freaking abs.
Oh, mate. Washboard.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey guys, just a reminder, if you want to hear all of these wonderful B Plus podcast episodes completely ad-free, make sure you head over to Patreon or Podbean, where we are the featured podcast this week. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month up to $10 a month, where anything you want to help us with, it really helps out. It's going to help us grow the site. It's going to help us redesign some things, and everything that we get through this and through the advertising as well is all going straight back into the podcast so that we can get Aussie Graps out there for the rest of the world to hear about, for the rest of the world to see, so we can grow this mission of watch global, support local, and build indie wrestling. So if you want to be a part of that and get some really cool rewards like call-in shows, bonus episodes, ad-free like I mentioned, then head over to patreon.com/theb+ and subscribe today. Hey everyone, just want to take a second to tell you about one of our new sponsors, OUTBREAK NUTRITION. OUTBREAK NUTRITION are creating supplements for survival, sharper minds, quicker reflexes, all the energy you need to take your performance to the next level, whether that be on the field, in the gym, on the gaming field. That's right, they have specifically designed gaming supplements as well to help you focus on those late night sessions. They even sell coffee, you guys, at OUTBREAK NUTRITION. You can get coffee pods, you can get coffee beans, you can get supplements for the bedroom as well if you want to enhance your performance there. These are performance enhancing supplements for every aspect of your life, specifically designed by gamers, for gamers, to stay fit and healthy in the gym, to stay sharp and focused on the game, and to dominate in all areas of life. So check out OUTBREAKNutrition.com, and for being a listener of our podcast, they will give you 10% off your order when you enter the code B+. That is BPLUS at checkout. So make sure, if you want to stay on top of your game, if you want to take your performance to the next level, OUTBREAKNutrition.com, enter the code B+ at checkout.
Crazy. All right, so going on to night 2 at Fukuoka. First match in, Ren Narita and Shota Umino defeated the tag team of Yuya and Yota. I don't do their surnames. I butcher them worse than I do Worse than I do
It's Yuya
Liger.
Uemura and Yota Tsuji.
Yeah, thank you. All right, in the second match of the night, there was a 10-man. So Minoru Suzuki Gun turned into a 10-man match with Taka, Desperado, Yoshinobu, Minoru Suzuki, and the new Neverweight champion Taichi taking on Cobb, Yoshihashi, Toa Hanare, Tiger Mask, and Taguchi. Taichi getting the pinfall on Hanare there. In the third match of the night, Makabe, Yano, and Liger took on Jado, Tangaloa, and Tamatonga. Yano getting the pinfall on Jado there.
Yeah, so you see what I mean when we talk about splitting these cards into 3 or 4 shows. You see what I mean about the undercard just getting a bit tedious?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And, it's just they just change it up with 1 or 2 different names in each match now. But, yeah, you can. But the good thing about this, like you're saying that you, on kind of New Japan highlights, in a way, this is kind of good where you can go, okay, night 1, just watch the last 3 matches. You don't need to watch it.
Yeah, it does make it easier in that respect. Yeah.
Yeah. So this night, fourth match in, Honma, Mikey Nichols, Juice Robinson, Hiroki Goto. They defeated the team of Hikuleo, Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, and Jay White. Then we had the tag team match, which featured the debuting Mr. X, which we all know is now
El Phantasmo. Yes.
So Taiji Ishimori and El Phantasmo defeated the team of Dragon Lee and Will Ospreay. El Phantasmo got the pin on Will Ospreay in that, which, when you got 4 guys like that in the ring, Phantasmo is obviously going to win on debut.
Yeah.
New Japan let someone win on debut. Robbie got the body submission win over Liger on his debut. So, his technical debut. I know he debuted in Sydney last year, but same, different. That was a fantastic tag match. Really fun.
Taking a look at that with the hype videos and everything that El Phantasmo got and then the big debut win, just the way they treated him in general. Do you think they're looking at El Phantasmo as as a bigger star?
I think so. They gave him the British J Cup win. It's Rev Pro, but he got that British J Cup win last year. I think, maybe they are looking for that next, another British breakout. It's always good to have 1 or 2. Like New Japan had this. It's like they got a minimum of certain nationalities in the company, and there's always like 1 or 2 British guys going strong. Zack Sabre Jr. just seems to be being a little bit more Rev Pro focused lately.
Yeah.
He hasn't been doing a lot of New Japan. Will Ospreay is obviously there, but Will Ospreay being Will Ospreay, there's always times where a couple of bumps might take him out for a couple of months here and there. So maybe they're just testing out the waters with a new Brit. And
Will Ospreay's on his way up to heavyweight anyway, right? Like he's got wins over Kota Ibushi at this point. Like they see him as a heavyweight, and the cool thing is, like, I feel like this Best of Super Juniors, I don't think Will Ospreay gets hurt by taking a few pinfalls. I think that and we'll talk about it when we get to the brackets. I think that this is, and that's something Ospreay's great at, is he's never afraid to do what's right. He's never afraid to lay down and give someone else the shine. And that's what he did here with El Phantasmo. And I think that we may get a bit of that from him in the coming weeks. Yeah,
absolutely. I think Will Ospreay being a promotion, like he owns his own promotion, and that I think he sees that. I think when you're a pro wrestler, but also run your own, whether it's your own gym or your own promotion or your own school, and that, I think you see that. And I think Will Ospreay is one of those guys that does do that.
That's a bit of a generalization, because there is that whole cliche of the promoter putting themselves over for a reason.
Well, we won't touch on that one, just in case someone's listening.
Well, I don't know who the hell you're talking about there, but it happens all over the joint. But anyway, moving along, what else did we have on? Let's finish off Dontaku.
Tomohiro Ishii defeated Evil in a 1-on-1, which was a fantastic match. This was, if Mel's giving out 5-star awards, 5 stars. 5 stars. This was fantastic. This is one of the matches of the weekend for me. Better than the main event for me. Love this match. Ishii is just a fucking stud. I think I said it off air to you earlier. I was looking at Cage Match. Shout out to the guys from Cage Match in Germany, whoever runs that fantastic site. I was looking at some stats, and like he is just he's not someone that's going to always get a 5-star, like a 10 out of 10 match or whatever, but he's always consistently at least 80%. And
like he's
just one of the
consistently at 3.5 and above. Like there's nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And he's just that good. And I wish New Japan saw more in him. I don't think they do, because he never gets past that neverweight title. And it's just frustrating. Like, he should be a main eventer. He's that fucking good and that entertaining.
Well, no,
it
I'd
just
like to see
frustrates
him
me.
with an intercontinental run, to be honest with you.
Intercontinental, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like he's challenging Tai Chi at Dominion, and we're getting another Naito versus Ibushi match. I'd love to see Ishii versus Ibushi.
Oh, imagine that. That'd be
I
fantastic.
mean, their G1 match last year was one of my match of the years. You know.
Yeah. I can't wait for Ishii in G1 this year. Oh, he's just going to go ham.
Well, and he's that
then in the main
guy
event-
in G1 too. He's the guy where they put him there. He
Yeah.
can have that match with absolutely anyone. He was the star of last year's G1. He had more consistently high performances in the G1 than Kenny Omega did. You know,
Yeah.
and Kenny
yeah,
Omega's
absolutely.
Mr. 5-star, Mr. 6-star, Mr. 7-star. So
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's just, it blows my mind that they just don't use him as much. Him and Goto. Goto's probably not as exciting to a lot of people as Ishii.
but just as
but I think
consistent
both-
though, just as solid.
Yeah. And Evil and Sonata as well. And touching on, segue from Sonata there, the main event, Okada versus Sonata, Okada's first defense since winning it back at MSG.
Yeah.
Perfect first title defense. People are like, why did Sonata get a title shot when he lost to Okada in the final? Well, he beat 3 other people to get to that final, so at least he deserves one title shot. He's never going to win it, but
Right.
I see the booking sense in that. No, great match. Not as good as Ishii Evil match in my opinion, but still great. So look, there's probably 5 standout matches over those 2 nights. So I recommend definitely getting onto the 5 main events over the 2 nights.
Yeah, the
I
main
really recommend
matches,
watching.
the singles matches especially, and they are the Phantasmo debut tag match.
Yes. Sorry, that makes it 6. My apologies.
Yeah.
That makes it 6 matches for me I recommend.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Actually, 5 because Tai Chi and Cobb wasn't the best in matches. Like
I've heard mixed reviews of that one, so I'm going to have to watch that one for myself. But I mean, it's a Tai Chi match, so you know.
Yeah, people just shit on Tai Chi all the time. I personally don't see it.
But for me, that's why I haven't looked at that match, because I'm just like, it's a Tai Chi match. You like, you know,
Yeah, I know.
it's like Yoshihashi,
people
you know. Even if
but he deserves it.
even if there's mixed reviews on a Yoshihashi match, I'm just like, but it's Yoshihashi though, you know.
Yeah, but Yoshihashi fucking deserves it. Tai Chi doesn't. Tai Chi's a lot better than Yoshihashi.
Yoshihashi and Tai Chi in the G1 this year just have an absolute cracker of a match. 7 stars. That
If Yoshihashi's in the G1, I am reporting on it. No. All right, but speaking of tournaments, let's dive in to the greatest. I love G1. Best of Super Juniors shits all over G1.
Yeah, this is the highlight for us, right? Like this is, I remember. I don't know if it was Best of the Super Juniors then. It might have been Super J Cup. But I remember, reading the magazines when I was a kid and reading about Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit, performing in this
You
tournament.
can't use that name.
Well, yeah.
No,
Well, he wasn't.
absolutely.
He wasn't
I know.
Chris Benoit
I know.
anyway. Well, he was Pegasus Kid.
Pegasus Kid, yes.
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
So it was, but I remember reading about them performing in this tournament and seeking out the video and not being able to find the whole thing, but finding a match here or a match there. And, and that's where you got introduced to guys like Liger, like Tiger Mask, different guy under the mask then, I think it was. But
Yeah.
but it's one of those things where, like, this for me is the penultimate, New Japan next to Wrestle Kingdom. Like, Super Junior time is the time to watch.
Right,
And
like-
this year, one of our own, first ever Australian to compete in Best of the Super Juniors. Robbie motherfucking Eagles. No one better to make it over there for us. But it's, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time.
Oh, big time. I completely agree with you. When I was growing up, especially in the 90s was a pinnacle of wrestling for me. Growing up in that era, you always heard about the Best of Super Juniors and the G1, a couple of those tournaments. But back in the 90s, we were lucky enough to have the King of the Ring and those sort of things. Where as you get older and start taking more interest into like the independent scene, things like Battle of Los Angeles, and SSS 16 in progress, all these sort of tournaments. And Best of Super Juniors always just stands out to me. And like you said, the names that came through that system, whether it was, the homegrown talents like Liger or Tiger Mask, whatever version, the internationals like Jericho and Pegasus and I think Owen Hart competed in one, Sabu, not that I'm a fan of him these days, but he competed in one, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those tournaments. And you heard, so a couple of days ago, Robbie Eagles did drop a PWA promo for this Saturday night. But he touched on in that promo, like, being in New Japan and, doing Best of Super Juniors, it's a massive bucket list for him. Like,
yeah,
Robbie Eagles is, the best junior this country has. Probably one of the best wrestlers this country's ever seen, but definitely the best junior ever. And he's representing Australia for the first time ever in this tournament. And, you can see how humbled he is. Like, it still hasn't hit him. Like, I spoke to him at BCW, a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. He's still, like, it hasn't hit me yet. Like, he said it's probably not going to hit him until he gets on that flight to Tokyo. Like, and as of today, they've released the blocks. So we've known for a couple of weeks the 20 names, but now we know the 10 names on either side, especially now Phantasmo's been revealed at Mr. X.
Yeah. Before we get to the blocks, actually, just having a look through some of the names that did the tournament in the early 90s, and I didn't even realize some of the names that are in here. Like you said, Owen Hart did one. You got Fit Finley did a couple, so Fit Finley in his time as a junior. Like we touched on, Pegasus Kid, Chris Jericho, obviously. Too Cool Scorpio did did a couple of them. You got it's insane. Eddie Guerrero did a couple. Eddie Guerrero's done some under the mask as Black Tiger as well.
Yep. And even
it's insane. It's insane the names that came through here in the early 90s.
Yeah. And even some in the last 10 years. I mean, you're thinking about the Finn Balor's, the Kenny Omegas, those sort of guys. Marty Scurll, I mean, he's obviously here this year as well. Brian
X-Pac as Lightning Kid in 1993.
Yeah.
Dean Malenko. Wow. Yeah. That's what I mean when I say that it's the pinnacle. And to have Robbie Eagles doing it is just insane. Like, I can only imagine how it feels for him.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And this tournament is missing two huge names that we would usually have this year in there's a couple. So, obviously, Liger is no longer a Best of Super Juniors guy. He stepped away from it. So, that's a huge name missing from this. I was thinking they might give him one last one before he retires.
Yeah.
And take a couple of pins on that, but it's fair enough that he's not. Hiromu Takahashi, does he come back at the final? And I don't know, does he come back soon for that? And then obviously someone who's gone over to WWE is Kushida. Kushida should be in this tournament somehow, every year. So, yeah, there's just so many names that have been in and out of this company with this Best of Super Juniors, but
yeah, and you touched on, in recent years, you got some of the biggest names in wrestling. Kenny Omega, the Jacksons have done it. Ricochet, obviously. Finn Balor.
ACH.
Prince Devitt. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really mention ACH's name in the same name.
No,
but he's talented. Yes, absolutely.
He's done a few over the years. Shelley, Sabin, those sort of guys.
Shelley and Sabin, Marty Scurll as well. So
Davey Richards. There's so many.
Yeah, let's look at this year's blocks, though. Block A. We got Dragon Lee, Jonathan Gresham, Marty Scurll, Shingo Takagi, Sho, of Roppongi 3K, Taiji Ishimori, Taka Michinoku, Tiger Mask, Titan, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru.
Yeah. What a stacked block. That is the block of death.
Yeah, well, I mean, just straight off the top, going in, I thought we're going to get Dragon Lee versus Shingo in the final, or Dragon Lee versus Taiji Ishimori in the final. I thought Dragon Lee definitely makes the final, and opposite him, you could get Shingo, Taiji, or on the off chance you could possibly get Sho, because it seems like they've got some big stock in Sho at the moment. But they're all in the same block, all of them.
Right. So, like, I think, do they do the final two as a semi-final and then the final one? I think they did it last year. I think they're doing it this year. So, I mean, choose two out of Block A to go to the semi-final. I mean, let's see if they even do the semi-final. I can't remember. But
no, they didn't do a semi-final. It just came down points-wise. It always comes down to the punch.
That's right, yes, yeah. So, I mean, pick your top five there. I mean, let's you run down through the first names. Dragon Lee, he's a current IWGP heavyweight champion. So anyone who pins him post
junior heavyweight
juniors gets IWGP junior heavyweight champion. My apologies. Anyone that pins him gets an automatic title shot down the road, as long as he holds the title. So I imagine him getting. So he's got 9 opponents. I imagine him getting about 5 or 6 wins there. Jonathan Gresham, I mean, he's too talented not to pick up a fair few wins. Marty Skrull, he's the best of Super Juniors vet. He's done this a few times. He knows how to win these matches.
See, I think Marty Skrull goes middle of the road here because he's he's sort of just biding time until all of his contracts are up, right?
Yeah.
And he goes to visit all his dead friends.
Yeah. Shingo, this is his first best of Super Juniors. I think this will be his last. I think once Hiromu comes back, he won't be a junior anymore and he'll move up to heavyweight. Then I'll just have Hiromu and Bushi as the juniors for LIJ. Shingo, he's one of the most talented guys in this entire best of Super Juniors. He should pick up a fair few wins. Show last year, no pun intended, put on a show last year. He did very well. Taiji Ishimori, former champion, he was in the final last year in one of the best matches of the entire year last year, Taiji Ishimori. He's obviously going to pick up wins. Then you got some of these names at the bottom. Taka Michinoku, he's the vet to take some pins there. Last year, I think Tiger Mask, we're going to talk about Tiger Mask next. I think he picked up the first 3 wins, and I was like, oh, hang on, this is...
Yeah, he shocked the world.
He shocked the world, and then he lost every other match since. So I think Taka and Tiger might take most of the pins there. Titan is the wild card for me. The CMLL guys, other than Dragon Lee, which is different, usually don't fare too well in New Japan tournaments. They usually eat a fair few pins. But Titan is an awesome choice for this tournament. I love it. And Kanemaru, again, probably like Taka and Tiger, will eat a lot of those pins. So you'd have to say the top 5 in any order would be Dragon Lee, Gresham, Skrull, Shingo, and Taiji Ishimori, right? Marty Skrull maybe 5th there. The other 5 miss out.
I don't know. I think it'd go for me. I think we're looking at Dragon Lee, Shingo, Taiji, Sho.
Yeah, and then either Gresham or Marty taking the
Gresham or Marty. But they'll be kind of, once you get down to number 5, you get more middle of the road. But yeah, I don't see Jonathan Gresham picking up too many wins. Marty Skrull either. I think they'll go about the same. But I think you will see Dragon Lee drop to Shingo. I think where he loses points to Shingo and maybe Sho, getting pins over him to set up title matches. But I think Dragon Lee makes the final. Yeah,
you'd hope so. Then let's talk about Block B. A little bit more open, in my opinion. A couple of guys that have never won it. So there's one guy here that's let's say, Best of Super Juniors king in a kind of way, like the Kenny Omega or Best of Super Juniors in Will Ospreay. But let's run down the rest of them. So Bandito representing Ring of Honor, Bushi representing LIJ, El Desperado representing Suzuki Gun, El Fantasmo representing Bullet Club, Flip Gordon representing Ring of Honor, Robbie Eagles representing Bullet Club and Australia, oi oi oi, Rocky Romero representing Roppongi /Chaos, Taguchi representing New Japan, Will Ospreay and Yo both representing Chaos and or Roppongi. So look, you got a legend in there like Taguchi, and you got legends in there like Taguchi and Romero. Guys that again will probably be akin to Taka, Tiger, and Kanemaru in the other group. You got Bushi, he's Bushi. He'll probably take a fair few losses here.
Bushi last year though in the Best of Super Juniors, Bushi was one of the standouts. He had some amazing matches.
Absolutely, and actually, it was a Bushi Desperado that was a really fucking good match last year that stood out to me. I think it was.
Yeah, Bushi and Desperado both had a lot of standout matches. Yeah,
and then you got the highlight reels. Then you got the king, like I said, the prince of Super Juniors in Will Ospreay. You'd expect him to be 1 or 2 in this group, 100%. Bandito, one of the best luchadors in the world right now, doing awesome things. Phantasmo, is he going to be skyrocketed straight to the top in this country?
Yeah, do they have a rocket strapped to his back? Yeah. That's the question here. Because when I look at this block, I don't see a clear finalist. Like I said, I thought Dragon Lee versus Shingo, Dragon Lee versus Taiji, maybe Dragon Lee versus Sho. Is Yo actually the person they see as a star in Roppongi 3K? And this block setup is his vehicle to success. Maybe he's going to get some really surprising wins in here. If he picks up wins over Bushi, El Desperado, Phantasmo, Flip, like you could see him very quickly rise to the top here. I think that the standouts are probably Bandito and Will Ospreay.
Yep.
I mean, how great would it be to see Robbie Eagles make the final?
Look, I mean, we keep talking about this, they might have the strap on Phantasmo, but why not Robbie? Like, that's my question going is, why not Robbie being in? At least I guarantee, this is not just my heart saying this because of how much I love Robbie, I guarantee he's a top 5 in the Block B.
Yeah.
Him and Phantasmo both be top 5. That would be very interesting to see BC versus BC.
When do they face off? Are they facing off towards the end? Are they on one of the final nights?
Let me just 100%. I downloaded the 2 images from,
because if they're on one of the final nights, then points wise, it could come down to one of those 2, knocking the other out potentially if they're facing off on one of the closing nights. Like, that's a story I could see them telling. It would be rather surprising, to be honest with you, because I don't think that they've shown that much interest, but I would love to see that happen, man. Robbie Eagles deserves it so much. And I think that whether he does well in the points or whether he ends up middle of the road, which is where I kind of would put him prediction wise, whether he makes it to the final, which I don't think he will, or whether he, just is there to put on great matches, I think he's going to open a lot of eyes and do great things for Australia just by his inclusion here. I mean, he has matches here that we've seen before with Bandito, right? The PWG rematch. Of course, he has a match here with Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, Robbie Eagles 3 taking place in a New Japan ring. You got to get excited for that.
Yeah.
We've seen Robbie Eagles and Flip Gordon face off in tag team action before, so seeing those 2 go one-on-one is going to be amazing. Of course, the El Phantasmo match is going to be crazy. Robbie and Rocky have a good rapport, so I imagine that they're going to tear the house down as well. I think Robbie is going to be one of the breakout performers in terms of people talking about him.
Oh, yeah. And did you mention Robbie and Bandito?
Yeah, rematch from PWG.
Yeah. The money match, the famous money match.
The money match,
No,
exactly.
So I just looked at the thing. Phantasma and Robbie is on the 19th of May, so only 3 shows in. So it's early on.
Right, so probably not looking at that story then.
And for any of the...
Because if they were on the last night, I'd actually have hope that we could potentially be seeing one of them in the final.
Yeah. And for any PWA/MCW fans who have seen Will and Robbie in a ring together and be like, holy shit, that is on the 26th of May. So about the second weekend, about towards the end of the second week, it's a Sunday night. It's... they missed out on being in Corrigan by like one show. I'm like, oh my God. I remember saying all I want to do is one day see Will and Robbie in Corrigan. It's close. Yeah. They're in Chiba, but no.
Who's Will Ospreay got on the final night? Yo? Or Bandito? Okay.
Desperado on the 30th of May. He's got Rocky on the 16th, Yo on the 19th, Bandito on 23rd, Gordon 24th, Phantasma 22, Eagles 26th. Yeah, he's got Desperado on the 30th. That's his last one.
The 30th isn't the last one, though, is it? Isn't there one in June?
Yeah.
The 5th of June?
There's one night after, and those matches are... Oh, sorry, shit, I missed one. Sorry, it's Taguchi. Ospreay Taguchi.
Ospreay Taguchi. Okay. Interesting.
3rd of June. That's the end of it there. Yeah, so... Oh, man, look...
Because like I said, they do like to bring it down to the wire and have those last matches be kind of meaningful, but I don't see Taguchi going all the way on points.
Let's have a look.
It's a hard one to call, but I think Bandito or Will Ospreay make it through from Block B.
Yeah, so Wednesday, June the 5th is the final. Of course, it's going to be at Corrigan. Corrigan? What's it, Corrigan? Which also, I didn't realize until I just had a look. Tanahashi has a comeback match that night against Jay White. That'll be interesting.
Yes, Tanahashi and Jay White having a match at the finals. Yeah.
But, so Monday, June 3rd is the final round as such, and those matches have in the tournament Taguchi Ospreay, Rocky Bandito, Yo Robbie, Flip Bushi, Phantasmo Desperado in the main event. So that's for B block that night. So I don't know. Very interesting. I can't wait to see Flip and Robbie. I know they had a tag match here. But Flip versus Robbie one-on-one is going to be just amazing. This is going to be an awesome best of Super Juniors. I am going to be watching this at 2 or 3 o'clock in the freaking morning in LA on my phone, in bed, with headphones on, as I'll be in.
Right, are we still going to be able to podcast? Is that, are we going to be podcasting the best of the Super Juniors?
Do you mind if I call in via Skype or something? Because I'll be on the road, but it'll be different times. But we'll touch on next week. By the time we hit best King of Sports next week, one show will be over. We'll know the first set of results, but and then it will.
And then you're taking off after next week.
Yeah, for the 3 weeks. So I'll be back literally on the final. So
I might have to reach out and find some stand-ins.
Yeah, that's
oh wow.
Or you not touch on it. You have to touch on it, but when I come back I'll be ready to record on the 3rd of June, the 4th of June, the day after the final block night, ahead of the actual grand final. We were able to run through the whole tournament together, so we can do like...
We'll get your thoughts then. Yeah. Well, I'll have to work something out for King of Sports, because we can't go that long without... Yeah. But no, that's awesome. So, I don't know, man. Who have you got? Who have you got in the final? Because I think looking at this, I want to say I'm looking at Dragon Lee and Will Ospreay final.
Yeah. I'm going to go with either Dragon Lee or Taiji Ishimori versus Ospreay. I can't see anyone else in Block B winning that group other than Ospreay. Unless and like you said, they might have a dark horse and someone like a Yo Phantasmo or something like that. Obviously, my heart would love to say Robbie. So I'd love to see Robbie in the final, but my head says Ospreay. But my head is confused about Block A. I don't know if Dragon Lee does win. I think Ishimori wins. I think Ishimori Ospreay, or maybe
could see Shingo
Ospreay. The two guys that probably don't belong in the juniors anymore and should be in the heavyweights.
Well, if 100%. If Dragon Lee doesn't win though, Block A, if Shingo or Taiji win, then I could see Bandito going to the final.
Yeah.
Right, so we could get Shingo Bandito or Taiji Bandito. That would work as well. Yeah. But either way, it's going to be amazing. There's some incredible names in here, some crazy action that we can expect. Now, the reason I say Dragon Lee goes to the final is because I have Dragon Lee winning the whole thing, and then on the night of the finals, after Hiroshi Tanahashi's return match, then you get the main event, and you got Dragon Lee versus whoever it's going to be, say Will Ospreay. And Dragon Lee picks up the win, and then out strolls Hiromu Takahashi, making his return to challenge Dragon Lee. You know, that's kind of how I see it going down.
Yeah, so do I. I can see Hiromu coming down to see, because Dragon Lee versus Hiromu Takahashi has to happen. It has to happen.
Yeah, and Dragon Lee's been starting to lay the seeds for it. He's saying that he misses Hiromu Takahashi and he wishes him well. He hopes he comes back soon.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really cool that they're doing that and not being like, haha, I broke your neck, but rather, playing the friendship angle and being like, no, these two are friends and they want to see each other succeed, and he'll give him a match when he gets back because it's his title, and so I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to give his friend the rematch for the title he never lost.
And it's kind of cool that this weekend coming, I mean, CMLL are advertising him on the Friday night show, Super Friday, when he's actually kind of said that he's not going to be in CMLL for 3 months, unless it's just an error in advertising. But Dragon Lee has a match in CMLL. Robbie has a match with PWA this weekend. Then they go back to Tokyo and then go at it. It's like go have one more match. Hopefully Ospreay has a match in Rev Pro. It's like, everyone just go have one more match before you best of Super Juniors. Blow off steam in your own promotions and just kill it. I'm looking forward to this so much. I think 2018 was really good to us in tournament mode, both juniors and heavyweights. I really hope they replicate this year.
Man, I know we wanted to close out with Best of the Super Juniors talk, but I just realized that we missed something in Dontaku.
What did we miss?
We missed something. A video play.
Shit, yes, my apologies. We did forget this. And actually, before we go on to that, I should just drop one more little thing that I was really excited about this week. Even when the next episode of Loco drops, I'll talk about it. But Adam Brooks made his debut in CMLL last Friday night, which is fucking cool. Speaking of Robbie doing cool things in New Japan, seeing Adam Brooks inside a CMLL ring made me pop hard.
Representing the Crash.
So cool things. These Aussie guys are doing cool things in the King of Sports universe. But yes, that video. Oh my lord. So
I'm talking about someone from the UK.
Someone from the UK with a swag on him. His swag.
Yeah, a bit of a punk rock vibe.
Surely Brooks. Surely it's Chris Brooks.
Chris Brooks, right. That was your prediction. Now, I did have our friend from over the pond, Akil the Heel. He sent me a still frame of the hand with the knife, right? And he was like, that is not Chris Brooks. It is clearly a brown person. and I can't dispute it. Like, when I looked at it, it could be the lighting, I guess. But I think Akil makes a good case for Oka returning.
Okay.
And maybe rocking some kind of a British punk rock, criminal vibe after his time in the UK, which I like Great Okan as a gimmick. I think it's hilarious. But, I could see them bringing him back with this British punk vibe as Oka, the British punk. And, maybe he ends up in LIJ somehow, because I always talk about them being, the mall punks of pro wrestling.
And it'd be very interesting. I mean, the options, in my opinion, are, yes, the Great Okan, Hirai Kawato, who I think is almost done with his CMLL thing, but I don't think he's way too skinny and junior for that look, so that's definitely not him. And then the other three British white guys that I'm thinking of, because I didn't see the brown skin, but I'll have to see that screenshot. My three choices are potentially a Haskins heel turn on Juice Haskins, a Ridgeway.
Yeah.
I know he's going to be doing stuff with Noah soon, but he could jump over to New Japan, or of course, Brooks. Just that swag, the way that he walked, looked like Brooks.
I got a Chris Brooks vibe from it to begin with as well.
And let's be honest, he's a heavy Rev Pro guy, and now that they've taken Phantasmo, maybe he does follow as well. And Brooks is if it is Brooks, I know he's recently. I made it sound like he died, but he recently lost Kid Lycos as part of a tag thing. Gresham is already doing things in New Japan as well, so maybe they could do the Calamari Catch Kings, their version. They could do that in New Japan.
Yeah.
There's so many options that they could do, but Chris Brooks, not Brooksy. Chris Brooks in New Japan would be perfect, and then that would hopefully lead the door to Aussie Open coming to New Japan sometime this year. Potentially tag league, but anyway, we said that last year. But who knows? I mean, we said...
Well, have a look at your chat window. Have a look at your chat window. I sent you that picture.
But we said this about Robbie, about Best of Super Juniors last year. Like, surely he deserves... Oh, okay. He has a bit of a darker hand, isn't it? Oh, maybe. Maybe it is Okan.
Yeah, but then when I see Okan, like, Okan's a bigger dude, like a stockier dude, and this guy did not look... Like, even with the jacket and stuff, he looked kind of skinny, which is what leads me to think Chris Brooks. But that hand is definitely a darker
Could be
person's
a hand model.
Chris Brooks is kind of
be another
pasty.
hand model or something. I don't know.
You know, it's definitely not Ridgeway or any of the other names, like the Ridgeway that you threw out. It's definitely not Ridgeway. I can say that comfortably, I think. But yeah, and they could have used someone else for the video. Maybe the person who the video is about wasn't available on day of shooting.
Exactly. But my say best Brooksy, and like I said about Aussie Open, I'm like, that leads the door, and I'm like, that I said that last year. But hey, last year, we'll end with this. Last year, we were saying Robbie should have been the best of Super Juniors last year, blah blah blah. But yes, okay, they didn't do it last year, but here he is. So hopefully, it's Aussie Open's turn this year for tag. So get this Aussie ball rolling. They're dominating.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that's all we have time for in King of Sports. Mikey, where can people find you?
At B+_big boy on Twitter.
I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B+ Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling is a bit. The B+ Wrestling everywhere else. Like, share, subscribe, 5-star review if you like what we do. Like I said, patreon.com/the B+. If you want all of our naked podcasting goodness. And thank you so much for listening.